The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse Huerta. This is the habit-based lifestyle where you can access your full potential right now. Finally break free from destructive habits. That dream life, if you want it, you can have it. This is where you transform your health, mind, business, and relationships, or do nothing and keep your life the way it is. But if you're ready for change, you're in the right place. This is where you're gonna learn how to live a habit-based lifestyle. You are tuning in to the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with your host, Jesse Huerta. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle. Let's go.
All right, guys. Welcome to the Habit-Based Lifestyle and Business Secrets Show. Today, I have a very special guest on here, Mr. Derek Snow. Derek is actually someone I met and had the privilege of coaching. It's been what, like 4 years?
Yeah, 4 years for sure.
Yeah, 4 years ago. He was actually in a program through Wake Up Warrior called Warrior X. And I actually that was my first coaching experience, was actually going through that and being one of the coaches in that. So, Derek, man, I want to welcome you on the show. Can you tell everybody just kind of what you do, where you're at, and how long you've been doing this?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm in Canada and I run a dog training business called No Dog Left Behind, all about keeping dogs in homes, basically, primarily focusing on, raising puppy right and behavioral programs with more advanced cases of aggression and so forth. And we do a lot of in-person stuff, but we also do virtual and online. I've been doing this for upwards of 15 years, honing in on my skills and just continue to learn every day as we go. Awesome, man. So,
What originally kind of got you into this business?
It was I was honestly missing my dog at the time. I'd recently lost a black lab of mine named Misty. And I had moved to a new place and I was quite honestly lonely and bored and I needed something. So some families like, hey, why don't you go to the Humane Society and start walking dogs? And I was like, I got nothing else to do. So sure. So I started walking dogs and I enjoyed it. But then I was like, well, maybe I could actually help to make these dogs more adoptable by giving them some additional skills. So that's really how it all started, where I picked up one book and then another. And then all of a sudden I'm 30 deep and I'm like, wait a second. Like I was starting to have results. I'm like, maybe I could actually legit be a dog trainer.
And how many years ago was that?
About 16 or 17 now.
Okay. And I'm guessing back then there wasn't very many people doing that, back 16, 17 years ago.
Not in my area, no.
Okay.
And there was a lot less information on dog training as well. Like it wasn't quite as prevalent.
Sure.
So it was actually pretty difficult to find some reasonable resources to assist me. So it was a learning curve.
Okay. Awesome. So, the last 15, 16 years, you've been, studying, learning, kind of mastering this craft. Let me ask you this, man. What was life like, let's just say before HBL? What was your business kind of like? What were things going on in your business then? And then we'll kind of segue into, okay, this is, where it is now, but let's talk about where it was, prior to joining Habit Based Lifestyle.
For sure. So where the business was prior was I was more or less I plateaued, I would say, with my scaling and my ability to serve more clients because I was stuck kind of working too much in the business, doing all the things myself. And there's only so much time in the day, right? And I just restricted my ability to progress because I felt like I had to do everything and that it was just all on my back. So I was still doing good. Like things were going, they were pretty good. And I had made like record earnings within my business. So I was progressing, but it was like, single digit progress. And like biggest difference pre habit based lifestyle to post, where I'm into it now 5 months, I think, or 6 months, is like growth has turned into exponential. And I brought on a lot of team members, and I've really delegated better a lot of the work that I was doing all myself, which added a lot of stress and strain onto my shoulders, because I felt like I had to like deadlift the entire business, where HBL provided me a lot of tools and tactics to be more deliberate with my time, and like ensure I was working on the business, taking it from good to great. HBL also exposed some, missteps in my prior business activities that I didn't notice at the time, where I was creating this vacuum of cash, stealing from myself in the form of government taxes. So fortunately, I'm in this group now where I can create enough, finances to pay back for past mistakes that I didn't know I was making.
Okay. So let's talk, I know you talk a little bit about kind of where you were before, but basically you were so busy working in the business, kind of trying to do everything yourself, that you had really no time to work on your business. And so, the plateau really came because you weren't really willing to step into that role of actually being a business owner versus just kind of having a job inside of your own business. Talk a little bit about, all the hats that you were wearing.
Yeah, well, I was stuck in the hustle. I had been so accustomed to the past, 15 years in the dog training business, just like grinding it out, being the, CEO and chief bottle washer, like wearing all these hats where I'm doing accounting, I'm calculating sales, I'm creating sales, I'm getting leads, I'm fulfilling on all these leads, I'm following up with all these leads. Like every aspect you can think of a business was me. And I was just leading to a lot of burnout and me starting to enjoy my life and my business less, because I was just chasing my tail, so to speak, because I couldn't break out of the habits of me being stuck doing the same things. I want different results, but I'm just stuck in this loop of always putting out fires that it interrupted me from progress, because I kept doing the same things, but hoping for different results.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's a great analogy. I remember even, the conversation we first had about you joining, Habit Based Lifestyle, and you're like, man, I don't know, I don't know if this is going to work for me. And what was cool is you really made that shift, I think, in your first 30 days, that you really just started to see what your potential actually was. And then all of a sudden it was like you just got lit on fire, and you're like, now I actually see there's a different way I can do this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. After I took the leap into the unknown, right? Because when you make a big commitment and decision, I mean, it's scary, but then I'm like, I have to do this. I'm like a hamster on a wheel going in circles here. It's time to get off that wheel, and I'm in a cage too. So let's remove the cage and the hamster wheel. So yeah, like it was super impactful. Once I took that leap of faith and I trusted in you and your processes, things just started happening right away differently, where I could start to actually like on demand create the amount of leads and the types of leads I really wanted, which was something that I struggled with before to do with any kind of consistency. Whereas now it's like, well, like for instance, yesterday I put out some, engagement style post. And I mean, there's like 35 comments on it of people who are interested in knowing more about the service I offer, which is astronomically different than 6 months ago, where I could have done this and maybe one person would be like, I'm kind of curious. Like that's exponentially different. 35 to 1, like I wouldn't even have believed it. But now I'm like, they're raining down leads, and I'm like, all right, like I need some help like with these leads now, which is a good problem. But now I'm at a different step where I'm like, I need some assistance to filter through this stuff and get back to people because they're just everywhere.
Yeah, that's a good problem to have, man.
Yes.
All right. So we'll talk about like where were you getting leads before you came into Habit Based Lifestyle? Like what was your primary lead source?
It was mostly in relation to referrals, happy clients sharing with their friends. I was doing Facebook ads with somewhat of a return. And like I had good relationships with other people in my industry, veterinarians, and so more or less more referrals. And that was pretty much it, have a bit of a Facebook group to, mention to some clients, kind of keep them a little bit of me top of mind. But that's kind of where it was. I didn't really have a solid marketing habit or style that consistently brought me consistent, people interested in my services. So I was just kind of operating by the seat of my pants, and it worked pretty good, but I knew I wanted it to work great.
Okay. And so, now what, say you've been in this program, you're going on 6 months, what on average in leads are you getting every single month? And then what is that also converted to in revenue?
Well, as far as leads go, I mean, there's a lot. So like sometimes it's anywhere from like 90 to 130 leads, which is a lot to take on.
Sure.
But so anyways, so yeah, that is a lot, right? And then like, as far as like actual revenue, I can definitely continue to increase my revenue. I'm just tweaking some stuff on my side of things. But right now, so far, consistently, month over month, it's typically at least $10,000 additional dollars each month that I've been in the habit-based lifestyle, utilizing these processes than before.
Okay.
So minimum of 10K, it could be up to 15. So, I mean, it's significant. And I know I could probably add another 5 to 10 on top of that once I get my sales process more in alignment with, once I tighten that up.
Sure. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I love hearing that. So as far as like what you've invested to what you've gotten out of that, what has been, what has been kind of the result of that from what you've invested to what you've gotten out of this program? What has been your return on investment?
500% at least.
Okay.
Per
awesome.
month.
Per month. Okay, good. I like it, man.
Yeah. So I mean, I would trade $1 for 5 any day.
Well, I think if you were a businessman, you'd trade $2 for 1 any day. You trade $1.50 for $1. But so let me ask you this: what is the difference between you running Facebook ads, the quality of people you're getting, and then the quality of people you're getting this way? What have you noticed as the difference in those two?
The biggest difference is they have a relationship with me already now. And it's like they're waiting patiently for me to offer something, and then they jump onto it. Versus before with my Facebook ads, I was like basically walking down the street handing out business cards, if you want to think about it that way. So like, yeah, once in a while it will convert, and I'll be able to get a client from walking down Main Street handing out business cards, but not necessarily the types of clients I want. Whereas the way we were doing things, it was like I already knew these people. They already knew who I was. They had, learned to like and trust me over weeks to months, to where when I had an offer that was in alignment with what their needs were, they're like, yes, please. So there's no like sales per se. It's more like people are like, yeah, that sounds perfect. That's exactly what I want. I know you. I like how you do things. I trust you. Let's go. And it's a way different than, in my experience with like cold Facebook leads from paid ads, is like people want you to like prove that you're worth their time. And I'm
Right.
like, well, I know I am, and I'm not going to. So I guess we're just not going to work together. But
Right. Yeah. So the person who's coming in, now already knows you, likes you, and trusts you. Which the other way is you still have to earn that, and there's still a cycle in having to do that. Or some people are like, all right, I'll just try it. But I know you talked a little bit about, having some, tax things that you're paying back, but what has been say a lifestyle result of being in this program, not just maybe business, but what's changed kind of in your lifestyle?
yeah, for sure. I just got 1 minute, just so you know, Jesse.
Okay, cool.
Lifestyle result has really been ensuring I set aside time for things I care about. And it can be easy to forget that when you're, an entrepreneur or a business person or running a business, is there's always stuff to do. And if you're running a pretty good business, you're probably always going to have things that could be done, where it's like, I have to take the time to set aside to ensure I'm investing in the things I also care about outside of the business, family, loved ones, etc. So like, for instance, because of revenue coming in from the business, and because of me getting better at planning ahead and carving out time for these things, I'm going on 2 trips this month. I went on a date day last Friday, and then we're going on a weekend getaway here in 2 weeks, and then another one the weekend after that.
Nice. Where are you guys going? Anywhere good?
It's all local. It's cold as F.
You go to the hot springs?
Yeah, well, it's going to be a winter wonderland where we are, regardless. No hot springs. But
all right, so let me ask you this. I know you got to go, and I want to make sure I respect your time. What has been an unexpected result of joining this program? And then the last thing is what would you tell someone who was on the fence?
Okay, unexpected result is I would have never guessed that I would have such access to other high-level business people, and the support and camaraderie of those people, because it's like, it can be lonely working in a business, as far as operating one, being at the top of it, because you have no one to turn to. You want to talk to certain things with your staff, or your family doesn't understand because they're working jobs, so to speak. So that was a huge part, was the community that's involved, and how we kind of assist and prop each other up, and also support when things are hard, but also celebrate when things are great. So that's the biggest unexpected result that I wouldn't have predicted otherwise, which I didn't know I needed and I was missing. So anyone who's on the fence, the thing you have to consider is, anytime you want to go from good to great, you have to take the leap of faith.
Okay. Awesome, man. Thank you so much. And dude, just super proud of the work you're doing. And I want you to know something, that the work you're doing has a major impact on the world and the community around you. And not only that, but the work that you're doing does make a difference in not only people's lives, but animals' lives. And I think it's super cool to watch you grow. And there is a potential inside of you that you could actually double the current revenue you're doing, if you just allow yourself to trust other people. And I want you to know that, because I think that's very important for you.
For sure. And I appreciate that feedback.
So, okay, brother. Well, great to talk to you, man. And go train some dogs, or hopefully you're selling someone, and that's why you got to go.
Okay. Adios.
All right, man. All right, guys. So if you are watching this live, Derek just shared testimonial. I have another gentleman that's going to be coming up at 10:15. Victor, who he's a real estate agent who decided he wanted to lead other real estate agents, which to me, the most fulfilling thing you can do is begin to coach and consult people at a higher level, and really teach them your expertise and what you've done. So if you're watching this, this is really a way for you to really see the results people are getting inside a habit-based lifestyle. These are not results I make up. In fact, we got one of our, main ladies on here, Krista Moreland. She's watching this. She has absolutely crushed the game inside a habit-based lifestyle, and she's literally on fire. I mean, she's been on our program for about 5.5 weeks, and on top of the revenue she's done, I've literally watched her come in. I mean, I remember being on our sales call. She's in tears, ready to give up. And, just yesterday, she was able to go out and buy a brand new car, not because she needed it, but because it was like, who would I have to become, to do this? And I think the cool thing is when you get into a program and you catch on fire, and that's really what I believe people do when they come inside of habit-based lifestyle with the right intention. And the right thing is, like, they just need someone to help them see their vision. They just need someone to believe in them, and they just need a group of people to support them in that. And that's what I really believe habit-based lifestyle is. One thing that I've always been really good at is helping people achieve things that they never thought were possible. You give me fitness, I could do it. You give me nutrition, I could do it. You give me a gym, I could do it. You give me a machine, I can do it. You give me, coaching marriages, you give me coaching men, you give me coaching, inside of this. These were always the tools. But that was something that I've always been able to do is really just to help people accomplish things that they may have never thought were possible. And that's my gift. And that's something that I'm able to do. But really to be able to see that in our program is pretty awesome. And, buying the car was me showing me I believe in what I'm going to do. It's also saying, listen, I believe that, God's going to take care of me regardless of the car I have, regardless of the sale I make. I'm going to have faith in that. And I'm going to step out into that and prove to myself that, I have faith. And so that's been really cool to see. Also with Derek, Derek was actually a guy that I coached, like I said, in Warrior X, which was a program that I helped coach and help launch inside of Wake Up Warrior, which was about 4 years ago. And I actually had the privilege of taking, I think there was a group of 10 or 12 through what we call the lead up, which was preparing them for a 2-day event. And then, I was there the entire time. So I've seen Derek, grow from that to, barely, literally I had to kind of drag him into the program to where it's like, this guy's so committed to his business. It's pretty cool to see that now. So, guys, if you're watching this, like, what are you learning from, Derek's, what are you learning from Derek and just kind of what he's going through? And, he said some key things is like, being caught up in the hustle and grind, I think is where a lot of business owners get caught up into that. And when you're caught up in the hustle and grind, what happens a lot of times is we get busy. We get too busy to get better. And we get too busy to be our boss. And so we end up just being kind of an employee inside of our own business rather than, the boss or being the CEO of your business. Because here's what I know, a CEO would never be an employee inside of their own business. A CEO must step out of that day-to-day operation, that day-to-day mindset that you have to hustle and grind. Don't get me wrong. I do believe in hard work, but I do believe in smart work at the same time. And really, a lot of times it just comes down to simplifying what you're doing, realizing that you can't do everything, and realizing if you're wearing, the more hats you wear, the less of the CEO role you're going to be playing in. And that is one of the crucial mistakes I see a lot of business owners make. And so, people come in to our business because people come into this because they want leads, they want to improve their business, but they stay because of what we do with their lifestyle and what we do with what matters to them most. And so people really stay for transformation. Sure, you come in for leads, you come in because you want to build your business, but you're going to stay for transformation, specifically inside of your lifestyle. And so we don't just make your business better, we make your life better, because at the end of the day, that's what matters to us. There's no point in building a business if you're going to burn down the rest of your life. And so, that is a priority of coming in here, is like, hey, we're going to work on your business, but we're also going to work on your life at the same time and your lifestyle at the same time. And we're going to teach you some things that you can do inside of those areas that are going to make massive improvements and massive shifts in your life. And I've watched, several people, and I can say that, Derek is probably going to be one of them, who he's going to eventually start coaching and consulting other dog owner or other people who have a business similar to his on how to do it the way he's doing it. And I believe that the struggle we have in our life, so if you're watching this and maybe you're struggling with your business, or maybe you're struggling with an area of life, eventually, if you stay on that path and you work through that you will probably be leading and guiding people in that same struggle you had. And so, oftentimes your stress and your struggle becomes, the simple message that you're going to coach and consult, or your mess becomes your message. You hear things like that a lot of times. And so our struggle becomes our strength. Our stress becomes our strength, as long as we don't run away from it. Because, there's nothing worse than hanging on to the same stress, for 10, 15, 20, 30 years down the road. And we're still trying to solve a problem at 40 with the same mindset we had, or the same stress or struggle we had as a teenager or maybe younger. And so we have to really learn to work through those. And I truly believe these are some of the things that we work on inside of Habit Based Lifestyle. And these are some of the breakthroughs that people have, is just getting out of an old mindset and getting into a new mindset and skill set that allows them to work through that so that they can go lead other people. And, we've been able to do that through business. We've been able to do that through lifestyle. But I really believe that's what we are about, and that's what we're doing. Sure, we're going to get more people leads. Sure, we're going to get them more business. But at the end of the day, we're going to transform those two things so that you can lead at a higher level. So, guys, we got about 5 minutes on here. Victor's going to be coming up, and I'm going to take a brief pause, and he's going to come on at 10:15, and then we're going to go through his. So, all right. We're going to be bringing Victor up in just 1 second. He's going to be signing in, and then we will be, we'll be dropping some knowledge on him. And, I think the coolest thing about what we are doing right now is, I get the ability to work with people who want to, truly change other people's lives, want to do things different. And not only that, but they want to do it in a way where they actually get to work with the ideal client that they're looking for, versus feeling kind of like they're trapped in what they're doing, where they'll just take anybody. And I think that's the big difference inside of this is, I know there's a lot of people out there that, are showing people and teaching people how to get leads, how to do all these things, but they don't really teach people how to get the ideal client to work with them. And so they settle for something much less. And I really believe that you can build a movement when you get the ideal client, versus just building a business when you get just a normal client. And what do I mean by a normal client? Is just someone who comes in and gets your service. But I believe when it's a ideal client, it's someone who helps, your mission and your business and build it for the future. And, that's one of the cool things that we really get to do inside of that. So, All right, let's see if Victor is going to be coming up soon. And we will give him just a couple more minutes. So guys, if you're still on tuning in, if you have any questions like, hey, how do you do this? Or how do you help these people? You know, a lot of times people are like, man, you're not running Facebook ads. You're not using ClickFunnels. You're not doing any of these landing pages. Like, how do you guys actually get people results? And I'm not talking about like little results. We're talking about, I would say this, that just since the 1st of February, I think today is the 9th or today's the 10th. I would say inside of Habit Based Lifestyle, we have had the single largest week or 10 days of any month, 10-day period. We have had literally, I think 2 days ago, as I'd counted, we'd have over $200,000 in revenue produced inside of our program. And I want to say as of today, we have about $265,000 that have been produced inside of our program just since the beginning of the month, which means we've done over $250,000 in revenue, combined revenue in our group in that amount of time, which is the single greatest like 10-day period we've ever had. So we've had other people, maybe do more overall at the month, but I know this, that, we should be pretty close to hitting over $1 million in combined revenue being brought in. And we're doing this, as a collective group, and we're doing this more and more every single month. So it's cool to see the progress that people are making. It's cool to see just what people are able to do inside of their business, and realizing that, hey, the last 10 months have been a huge pivot for a lot of businesses. And the fact that we've been able to pivot ourselves, because I remember sitting down literally a year ago and just being like, man, the business world is changing. How you acquire a client is changing. And this is an opportunity for me in a epidemic to really like learn. And I believe that because of playing sports growing up, because, I was kind of like the captain or the person that's like, hey, it's 4th and 1, give me the ball. I'm going to make sure we get a first down. That's really how I looked at, 2020 was like, hey, give me the rock. Because I'm going to create something bigger. I'm going to create something better. I'm going to create something different that no one else has. And I'm going to share this with people who want to catch it on fire, who want to put this into their business so that they can continue to grow. Because business in the last, 10, 11 months has changed more than the last probably 10 years. I also believe as business owners, we can get comfortable in our growth, and we'll grow at a slower rate. But when we are forced with an epidemic, when we are forced with stress and things like that, it's not a choice anymore to change. Like, we have to change. And not only that, we have to transform, which means this comes at a deeper level. This also means that we have to decide, hey, do I want to stay in my comfort zone and stay kind of where I'm at? Yet it's really good where I am. It's good. Or do I want to get really uncomfortable and grow to a new level? And not only that new level, but I have to literally transform and be reborn again into who I am, who I'm creating. And that in itself is like shedding a whole new, shedding the old skin, stepping into the new. And that is, it's a hard thing to do for people. And it's one of the hardest things that we can do because, let's face it, our comfort is a lot more comfortable being in a place where, you're not really forced to change. But I believe when we're forced to change, or when we choose it, because we see, hey, if we don't decide to change what we're doing, I'm going to go back to my old ways. I'm going to go back to my lowest form of training, because anytime you induce stress, that is the automatic response to that. Or I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to do something different. I'm going to create something different in this time, because I know that if I do that, other people are going to be impacted, and not only them, but other clients of theirs will be impacted, and their family will also be impacted. So Victor is just coming on, and let me bring him up real quick. What's up, Victor?
Hey, what's going on?
You should be able to bring your camera up now, man.
Hold on real quick, man. Let me just get all my screens ready. Are you bringing me on a live, dude?
Of course I am. Hey, look at you, man, trying to show me up on your backdrop. Look at that.
Simple, man. Just KISS. Keep it simple.
Just give me 1 second. All right, man. So obviously you've been in Habit Based Lifestyle about 2 months, and you guys, Victor was a guy, literally, I think I had to chase him down for about 2 months, 2.5 months, just to get him to sign up with my program. He's like, hey man, I'm in all these other high level programs. You just this little guy. And I'm like, dude, I can promise you what we have is going to make a huge impact on you. But it did take me a couple months to convince him of this. But Victor, can you kind of tell everybody who you are and what you do? And then we'll get into kind of like where you were before.
Yeah. So I'm a local real estate agent here in Phoenix, Arizona. So I help a lot of buyers and sellers in the Phoenix metro area. And then I get a lot of clients out to YouTube. So I'm big on video. That's pretty much how I actually market via Facebook and YouTube video. And where I was is like, I invested a lot of money in myself. Like marketing is my game. I'm a systems guy. I know a lot about ads, YouTube ads, lead pages, and all that stuff. And I just felt like realtors, as a real estate agent, when you get in the market, is like you're getting sold to by everybody. And people are selling you who are coaches who never lived anything in their business. They just go learn and teach it. So that's kind of, I guess that's kind of how I came across your platform. And it took a while for you to get me, man.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about, what was life like before, getting into the Habit Based Lifestyle Accelerator. You're a successful real estate agent, but like, where were you kind of struggling before you stepped into our program?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, man, more is everything was pretty good. My marriage, my mindset, and, the business was doing okay. But I think there was one aspect of my mindset, which was putting myself out there. Like I was scared to show everything that I know. And because I was afraid that it was going to build competition. And I was looking at it a different way. When you tell me like, hey, don't look at it as competition, look at it as helping others grow. And that was my fear, because with all the knowledge you have in real estate, they teach you like to keep all those nuggets and not to teach it. Right. So that was kind of the mindset shift. I think the most important thing for you coaching me was changing that mindset to give and not to pretty much just take all the time and be a giver.
Yeah, bro. I mean, here's the thing, man, is when you teach what you know, that allows you to grow. And I mean, that sounds really good in rhyme. I think I can make a song out of that. But the most growth you'll ever have is when you actually teach what you know. And so, the reason I told you that is because, dude, I had a similar experience inside of fitness. Was like, hey, if I teach all my employees how to do what I do, they're all going to leave me and start their own gyms. And, they did for a period of time, but they started it more when I didn't teach them than when I did. And so I realized that, hey, by me teaching them, I actually become a better teacher. And, I think that's the thing that I've really seen you step into is now, like, dude, look at, you got lead trainer. Come on, man. So you wanted to launch a program. That was kind of the main, thing that you were working on when you came in. Like I said, you're very successful at real estate, but you really wanted to get into coaching and leading other agents. What has, what's been kind of the thing that you've really noticed since being in the program that's really helped you?
I think the number one thing is, well, first of all, I think as being I don't consider my coach, I consider myself like a mentor or a trainer. I think it's just being honest, just being honest with the people you want to help and just laying out the game plan, right? And then and with you is you've laid it out so like easy to follow with the habit-based lifestyle is it allows you to follow at your own pace and you don't have to consume all the content. It's not like here's a course, like in real estate, they give you a course and they say, hey, good luck. Thanks for the $2,500. You get coaching calls during the whole week, which is amazing for the cost that it costs to come into your program. And I'm actually speaking to you. There's other programs that I've gone into. You're speaking to their marketing assistant and you never meet those big, Facebook advertisers or YouTube advertisers. So just being like having one-on-one with you and in the group, Facebook messengers and people sharing their wins and their losses and helping each other. I think that's like gold, man, gold nuggets.
Awesome, man. So, we talked a lot about you like, hey man, I'm in this guy's, mastermind. And I remember I was like, okay, how many times you been on a call with him? You're like, none. And so, I kind of said the same thing. I was like, hey man, these are cool. Like, I'm sure these are great programs, but I can promise you what we're going to give you is we're going to over deliver. But like, since then, you came in, you launched your coaching business. You were even a little frustrated, probably about 6, 7, 8 weeks in, and then I was like, hey, come on, man, like just stay committed to the process. And you really just launched your coaching biz about 10 days ago. What have you done so far in that?
So it's only been like 4 weeks, like solid, like all in, and it's 10K in 4 weeks.
Okay, awesome. And I mean, really, you just kind of launched it like 10 days ago, that side of it, where you're kind of building up your list, building up your, say pool of people. And so inside of that, you're able to do 10K. What do you see as a result down the road? Like, what do you see kind of coming in the next, couple months of that?
The next couple months, I could see this like scaling really, really fast, right? And increasing my price range because you have to value yourself. And that's something that you teach in the program is you have to value what you know, right? And you should get paid for your value. And I've always devalued myself, almost giving myself almost for free, right? And it's the mindset, and I think it's more of the culture mindset because I am Hispanic, right? And the different cultures is you being a coach for so many years and want somebody coming in is you have the fear of putting a price tag on your information.
Right.
So I see this scaling, to at least, 20 to 30K months and then just helping out a lot of agents. And I think the future of video is where real estate agents and any business owner needs to be at. And the scarcity mindset that you helped me overcome was, I always told you, man, there's these programs out there already, right? Like, I don't know if I'm going to compete. And you said, hey, people are going to resonate with you. They'll resonate with me and they'll resonate with somebody else. So.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing is people are looking to learn faster. They're looking to, cut out on the mistakes. So if you can connect to people, then that gives you the opportunity to really step into that. I think the other cool thing is, the reason you came in here is you're like, hey, I want a personal relationship with the person that I sign up with. And I really believe that sets us apart from other people is like, hey, give them that personal relationship, give them that personal value. And, that's where we can, really excel and be different. And plus, you have a lot of life experience that could save people a lot of time, money, and resources by sharing that with them. And I think that's cool to do that. Let me ask you this, man, what has been an unexpected result you've gotten out of this program? Something you didn't think you were going to get?
Unexpected result. Well, obviously you got the monetary value, right? You got the money, but unexpected result, I think it's more confidence of being a trainer. When you start receiving paying clients, you have to show up. You can't just back out and take the money because then that's going to leave a bad taste in your mouth and that's going to leave a bad reputation. So, being on the coaching calls is, you call us out and you tell us, hey, you got to show up now. You're a coach, you're a trainer, and you're collecting money. So those people are counting on you, right, for the education and shifting your mindset from being, just a real estate agent and being a trainer now or a coach or a mentor, you have to shift that mindset. And I think that helped out a lot.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So you're in this network, not everybody's a real estate agent. You have, a lot of different, people in chiropractic, people in, coaching, consulting, people in fitness, people in mortgage, finance. Like, what is the community like for you to be inside of this group?
Just different ideas, right? Different marketing ideas, different content, and how you can actually organically bring in clients. Because if you're a chiropractor, you got the tunnel vision of only what chiropractors do. If you're a real estate agent, you have the tunnel vision over here. So, just a dental hygienist, you have the same thing as a fitness coach. We have people in there. It's all blinders on, right? Because you've been in the business and so focused and one way of teaching something. And then you came in and you kind of exposed it and say, you don't have to do that. You can do it a different way. So I think that helped out a lot too.
Okay. Awesome, man. And, learning kind of the system, prior to coming in here, did you ever really have any business habits that you could say, hey, if I do this, this could potentially get me a client? Did you have kind of a method of that, where you could, say, hey, if I do this and this and this is going to produce this result?
So I guess being in real estate, they teach you cold calling and door knocking and postcards. And I went through all that first and it didn't work. So I went all in on YouTube. So my only business habit was basically just doing video content.
Okay.
Right. All on YouTube and getting leads organically. And that was working. But personally, I didn't have I guess you could say a process flow, right? A strategy until I came in here, as far as trying to build my business organically without paid ads and paid advertising. Cause I was big on paid advertising. And when Facebook changed their algorithm and now the new iPhone's coming out and people are not gonna be able to see those ads, this is when I started looking okay, I need to find a person who kind of understands organic marketing, because the paid advertising is going away on Facebook and it's very hard to get in front of a client. And then especially when the panty hit, it's harder to get in front of everybody because ad costs went up. You see it everywhere. You see ads everywhere. So that was kind of my niche, is looking for somebody who can teach me something organic. And, when I talked to you a couple of times for 3 months, I said, hey, you told me, all right, man, just keep on seeing my results and I'll get you. And sure enough, it took about 3 months and I was like, okay, this guy, he's pushing it out. I'm going to get to talk to him one-on-one. I'm not going to be talking to his assistant or his marketing assistant or, somebody below him. So I think that's what really actually put the hook in my mouth.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. So, I think a lot of it is just, being relentless, in the results that you're not only getting in real estate, but you're also getting with clients. What would you say is your favorite thing about this program so far?
Man, the favorite thing is the calls, man, is honestly just you kicking us in the, what, and the ladies that are just kicking us in the, what as well, because the ladies are dominating us in this group. But just the environment, man, just being around the environment and just getting that one-on-one time.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate that. And then last question, as you can get back to work, you can get back to selling houses and selling your program. What would you say to someone who, is on the fence of maybe joining?
Oh man, that's a pretty good question, bro. When it comes down to money, right, it's going to cost you in two ways. It's going to cost you if you don't do something, and it's going to cost you if you do something. So that's the way I look at it. And to be honest is, the cost of the program was, it was a gulp, right? And I compared it to other programs and I say, it's the cost of doing something and the cost of not doing something. And all I can say, man, is I am just appreciative that I actually went into your program and not something else, because I don't think I would have seen the results somewhere else than I see here. So just to anybody out there who's thinking about joining habit-based lifestyle, it's going to cost you no matter what, if you do it or you don't. And I suggest, you put your money and invest it back into yourself, because the only person who can get the results is you.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, I'm super proud of you, man. Can't wait to see you doing those $20,000, $30,000 months, and just excited for you, your vision, where you're going. And man, I see you doing, you know, $40,000 events to where you got, you know, the whole valley of Phoenix coming at your events and wanting to learn from you. So, and I know as you do that, it's not only going to help you excel in your own business. So congratulations on your success so far.
Man, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
All right, man. Have a great day.
You too.
Okay. All right, guys. So final thing just to wrap up is I got to jump on a sales call. You know, what better way to end the program than to actually do that? But I want to thank you guys for being on here. You know, we put these out because, you know, we truly want you to see where people were when they started and where they are now, so that you can, it's not about comparing, it's about seeing what's possible. And when you see people, you know, maybe not excelling or living to their full potential, and then you see what's a possibility and you surround yourself with people like that, you catch on fire and you begin to play at a higher level. And that's really what we do. And that's really what we help people do. Yeah, we're going to help you make more money, but we're going to help make you a better person and live a better lifestyle at the same time. And so if that's you, you're interested in doing that, feel free, reach out to me, Jesse@habitbasedlifestyle.com, or you can type in lifestyle business. Let's get on a one-on-one call. If you're watching the replay, #replay, and we will see you guys on Friday.
The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse